Alright, welcome back to another stream of Witcher 3 with a Blood and Wine expansion and our new HUD, Deathmatch, hardest difficulty, and role-playing Garrett as an evil, greedy bastard playthrough. And yeah, we are nearing the end of this story already. We have chosen to go with the Oriana ending. So seeking out her and trying to find the elder vampire who's basically able to summon Deathlove, so we can lure him into a fight and yeah, fulfill the demand of the Duchess to deliver the head of a beast, ultimately to get money. And yeah, last time we stopped here at the orphanage that Oriana has been using to feed on children. Now, she never actually killed any children doing this, but yeah, she's basically using it as like a farm to sustain herself, but also to do something good for the children at the same time. So very much a grey kind of like character. There's quite a few details here which I find quite interesting. One, of course, is the connection to the song that Oriana is singing to the kid. It's the same song you can also hear in the trailer where Garrett is fighting her. And it's also the same song you can hear in the main menu, depending which kind of like main menu screen you're getting. You can even see her going in the barn in the background, Garrett meditating. But yeah, there's quite a few more details here. I can actually recommend a video by Talis, who's kind of like a Witcher 3 expert on these kind of things. And he goes really in depth with like, you know, everything you can find in regards to this whole questline. I'm actually gonna post it. It's the videos. It's called 5 Details You Missed About Oriana. So I can really recommend. Also, hey there, Geskra, welcome in. It is, yeah, this is the second expansion for Witcher 3. And it's a Blood and Wine expansion. It takes you to the land of Toussaint, which I guess is kind of like more French Germanic influence. So it's definitely quite a different area, and you go here because you want to find out about vampire that has been slaying quite a few kind of like important people. But there's a lot more to that story than meets the eye.
So, I'll be at the boat landing near the palace, waiting for Regis there. Mind telling him?
You've met with Oriana. How did it go?
Not well.
Oh. Did she not divulge where you might find the unseen?
No, she did. Also divulged her hunger for the blood of small children.
Well, I admit I'd heard rumors, but preferred to lend them no credence.
Rather not talk about it. Caves west of town, other side of the lake. That's where we need to go.
I see. Well, I'm prepared to set out at any time, but...
Yeah, I know. You'd still prefer to free Sienna, for Dettlaff's sake.
For the sake of you both.
Oh, please. Orphanage, what happened there? His fault, plain and simple. City gutters are overflowing with blood. That's his doing too. And you're worried somebody might have hurt his feelings?
To meet the unseen elder is to face mortal danger. I've said so all along and never in jest. You are a friend, a dear friend. I'd rather you not risk your neck unnecessarily. I think it's natural, I think it's obvious. Obviously natural. Especially when we've an alternative. An entirely reasonable one.
So this is the last chance you have to basically change ways and still go for the kind of like fairy tale quest with Sienna. And this would also make sure that you would have a choice to either spare Dettlaff or kill him, you know. Going with our current path, it will always lead to us killing him. But at the same time, you know, this is kind of like us fulfilling the demand of the Duchess. What she kind of like wants. And ultimately, that's where the money is coming from. That's the reason we came here. And to be fair, I think there's an argument to be made for sure. As Dettlaff is really like, yes, he does have like valid feelings, whatever. But the amount of like innocent lives that are being taken that have nothing to do with what's happened to him is like unproportional. Now, of course, you know, he's a vampire, and similar to Oriana or Regis, they probably won't have quite as much empathy for humans. But yeah, it's no justification, you know. And it's not the first time he kind of like values his own, you know, life or the one of a loved one over that of many innocent. But yeah, the good ending would still be considered, I guess, to kind of like go for this one. But I won't do that. I'm going where the money is. And I'm also interested in seeing this ending, because I've never actually went this way. Unless I might have done it on my first playthrough, if so, I don't quite remember. But yeah, it also comes definitely with some dangers, because as Regis warns us, it's very easy to actually die to the elder vampire. Because he's indeed someone you shouldn't mess with, so depending on our dialogue choices, we might have a hard time getting through that part. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm gonna go and continue on this path.
I'm a witcher, Regis. I don't cut deals with monsters. I cut monsters down. And I don't give a damn about the risks.
Well, I understand. I'll not mention it again.
Thanks. Time we were on our way. Listen, I need to sail there. Coming with? Or would you rather float over as a puff of fog?
I'd not be able to talk as a puff. And as you know, talking is something I very much like to do.
At length and in detail. Let's go.
Alright, I need to check a couple of things here before we continue. Definitely gonna increase the durability here. Okay, So I also want to infuse some runes here. Just gonna have a look if there's anything better I can wear, but I don't think so. Okay, we can give our steel weapon quite some chances done here. 5%. However, I think I have to use my silver sword a bit more here. Wow, I think I might increase my chance to cause burning on the silver sword. Because fire is quite effective against vampires, but also against dead love later. And we're gonna go for stun for the for the steel sword. So I don't really have many good runes here. I'm gonna increase my... I'm just gonna use whatever I have because we're basically nearing end game territory here. Just gonna go for art. Gonna boost some Exi. Some Igni. And more.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Hey there, Casper. Welcome in. Bike of Seaward. Oh, very nice. So replaying a bit of Elden Ring. Or are you continuing your latest playthrough? But yeah, you have a DSC. It's supposed to be getting quite good, I think. I'm quite looking forward to play Elden Ring eventually.
Know much about this unseen elder?
Only that he takes unkindly to guests, especially the unannounced.
Oh, joy. Got a plan? Some idea how to appease him?
The custom when meeting an unseen elder is to bestow upon him a stone symbolizing peace. Yet this type of stone occurs only in the Heartland.
Take it you're fresh out.
Alas, just so. Thus, I fear we must rely on my personal charm.
Where'd the unseen's hatred of social calls come from? Folk forget to wipe their boots. You get sick of sweeping up all the time?
I see you've strayed from the course. Very well, go wild. I shall await you on the other side.
Oh, so actually just went away. He didn't even try to guide me there. Fair enough. But I wasn't really sure where to go, of course. He could have given us a bit of a hint, I guess. There's a lot of guys. Oh, that's actually a really good decoction we could make use of. The Nightwave decoction. Our vitality increases with every foe killed, and it lasts until we meditate or fast travel. So, given I don't really do that too often, actually use that.
Giving me no choice.
place of power. It's gotta be.
Geralt, over here. Ahem. Might I suggest you use Oriana's key?
Place of power. Should draw from it.
Okay, so given I'm not really spending my ability points on anything important anymore at this point, I'm gonna go and invest them into like some more advanced abilities here, because we have of course a lot of ability points we didn't really make use of. And I think I'm actually gonna go for Whirl for sure. Gonna replace Ren for now, maybe. I mean, the bleeding effect would be quite good, I think. Especially also against Deadlaugh. I think at this point illusion won't help us really either, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And we can also place Great Red Mutagen, giving us 40% total. Eva Bioshock, welcome in. Okay, I think I also want to get visibility here, the Flood of Anger. When casting a sign, 3 adrenaline points, if available, will be consumed to upgrade the sign to the highest level, unlocking all bonuses, and increase sign intensity by 100%. Really gonna focus on fast attacks here for now. and adrenaline, because I think that's gonna help us quite a bit. And I'm gonna focus on Igni because that's gonna be the best ability here against Detlef, I think. That and Gwen, of course. It's a bit of a build change here, I guess, towards the ending, but I think that really makes more sense to give us like a bit of an edge here against Detlef. Focusing entirely on Igni, fast attacks, adrenaline, and of course some kind of like alchemy stuff. And then Griffin's good techniques to kind of like boost our medium armor. Ava Afro? Exactly. Yeah, Gwen is a lifesaver, literally. Don't really need anything else. I have one, but yeah, I didn't have a second, I guess. Yeah, at this point I can't craft one. But that's alright, I guess. Should be fine.
Let's find the unseen one first, then we'll talk. It worked. And a good thing too, I'd be hard pressed to see through this gate as a proper fog.
What's inside? Know what to expect?
Vampires?
Funny.
Let's go ahead and actually use the killer whale here. Ancient coins. Interesting. Can be sold to merchants. So one of them is worth 5. I mean, that's really good. Makes you wonder what we get out of dismantling them. Maybe a really rare material or something.
Geralt, I adore our conversations, I do. But this is simply not the right time.
It looks like a place, but what's down here? Nothing.
We must be close.
How can you tell?
Listen.
Don't hear a thing. Not one rat, one bat. Dead quiet.
As I said, he despises guests.
Let's try the metal.
Sporenni veres nats atrannes, avile cleva regis etu.
Settlers!
Not one step further.
Yes, you have walked your last.
And with that. Ah, fucking hell. So, of course, in that moment I had to talk to Levi. And I didn't realize it was a time-based choice. And then in the last second, I saw it.
No! Wait!
Yeah, we're dead. Are we?
Healing potion. Gotta drink one. Damn it. Lost some gear.
I'm gonna reload here because I wasn't ready for this. You know, I was kind of like talking to Levi. And then I looked at the screen too late and saw there's a, of course, time-sensitive choice in that moment. Didn't really have time there to really comprehend the choices. I might still go for what I chose there, but I didn't even have time to see.
Must be.
Okay.
Listen.
Don't it?
As I.
Sporenni veres nats atrannes, avile cleva regis etu.
Settlers!
Okay, definitely gonna go for a second option there. I wanted to escalate.
Rather not hurt you. No! Wait!
So it's like the same outcome then, is it? Interesting. Jesus.
Healing potion. Gotta drink one.
Okay, I didn't expect it to escalate that quickly. Time for White Ruffard's decoction there. What? So my healing potion and my White Ruffard decoction are gone? The heck? But they're also my weapons and stuff, so
Need to find it.
yeah. It's all supposed to be like this. It's kind of interesting because I never actually saw this before. Yeah, you're really not supposed to do this, I guess. Okay. Let's re-equip everything.
Damn it. That was close. It'll kill me even if I get out of here. Unless I think of something quick.
Strange suit. Strange skull.
What the hell? What is this place?
Man, this is so cool. So many times I've played this DLC. Never actually seen this.
No way I can climb up there, unless I could give myself a boost.
photo of letters. So they're quite ancient then.
What kind of vampire was that? Never seen the likes.
The hen gave mask and trousers. Ah, there's some interesting stuff here to for sure. So basically has the same bonus as TESHAM MUTNA armor, I guess. At least the kind of like set bonus. Terrain is kind of awful here. Constantly going up and down. It's better.
Someone was here before me.
Mage's notes. 2 hours after arrival. Starting the megascope didn't work. I'm probably too far underground to make contact with Barnard. Thus I have to try to communicate with Empire superiors without further consultation. I better work fast.
Wonder what happened. happened to him? Megascope. Damaged. Footprints. Deep set. A man's. Is that stream flowing upwards? Strange. Clearly worth a look. Upside down. Gravity's flipped, getting pulled up instead of down.
That's really cool. Yeah, now we have almost a full set.
Flowing over to the other side. Enemy there too. No way he can survive. Don't stand a chance. This'll tell me something.
Jen. Dear Marcellus has made it clear that as a specialist in post-conjunctive species, I'm to provide you with all the help necessary in preparing for the trip you are planning. Maybe I will start with a warning. It's pure madness. Assuming that you survive teleportation and opening a stable portal several dozen meters above the ground is, as you know, highly risky. You will then be torn to shreds. As much as vampire superiors are actually rational creatures with developed cognitive and analytical functions, other species may be less open to attempts to make contact. If by chance you do live to have an audience with this unseen elder, do the following immediately. Genuflect, say words of greeting in the language, Ekelfi Lotni Ama, and place on the ground the attached Hakland Aragonite crystal as a gift. Then and only then is there a slightest chance that you will be hurt. But by the gods, speak quickly and don't waste your words. Ah ja. So, Ekelefi Lotni Ama.
Something like that.
Oh, no sword. Yeah, this is very good. guess you could insert maybe more chance to cause bleeding. And a bit more chance to stun.
Must be the offering for the unseen. Maybe if I give this to the unseen elder, he won't kill me. At least not right away.
Okay. Yes, we can now go ahead and try to find him.
The rock extends to the side where gravity's reversed. Tip will fly upwards if it breaks off. Just gotta collapse the base. The other way, I think, do the trick. Waterfall I climbed down to get here won't work. Could be another, though. Need to follow the current downstream.
If B1, you never saw his quest? Yeah, me neither. But it is really cool actually. It's like an alternative outcome for the Blood and Wine DLC. I thought I could go back here. But they did mention we have to follow the stream all the way down. Yeah, same here. The previous times, the 2 times I played this before, I also went for the fairy tale ending. It's very iconic for sure, but I really like what they've done with this outcome too. You also get to learn more about Oriana, which I think is pretty cool. So what now? We have to go down here. Let's have a save just to be on the safe side here. Yeah, jump into the water. Okay. Yeah, the Elder isn't too easy to please. The first time we encountered him here, he basically immediately bit my neck because I didn't speak in his language and also didn't bring a gift. But hopefully the next encounter is gonna go better. 10 minutes after arrival, the teleportation worked. I managed to get into the caves with most of my equipment. Most importantly, the megascope is in perfect condition, so I should be able to communicate with Barnard. I just have to set it up in the right place. 30 minutes after arrival. I've already observed numerous gravitational anomalies, which suggests that Surreal Decadent was right. The boundary between spheres really is very thin here. More tests should allow me to determine whether a passage to our world has really opened up. 1 hour after arrival. I haven't met any vampires yet, but I can hear their voices. I'm going to explore. I will have to be careful. Conjunction of spheres, which I think is one of the key events that brought a lot of the monsters, I think, to the Earth, I guess. So might have also brought the Elder over here. Okay, this leads up here again. A bit tricky navigating through this cave without the minimap. It's quite large. Ah yeah, I can go up here.
Now just need the Elder to discover his talkative side.
Since I got the Steely to kind of like fall down.
Etzelthi, laut Niama.
You live.
Barely. You're not attacking. That mean you'll hear me out?
Perhaps speak.
Hear about Dettlaff.
I know who he is. What of him?
He's sicked a swarm of lesser vampires on the city. I have to stop him.
But I do not.
Oh, sorry. I was actually muted there. My bad. But yeah, so this choice is interesting because if you don't choose the right thing, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna die and you have to restart from a checkpoint before this. The thing is here, I don't think that I can really return a favor to him. I mean, yeah, I can bring him another offering, but an offering is only enough to kind of like get an audience, you know? I think if we say that Dettlaff means trouble, it would kind of like be something that he could connect to more, because as far as we know, he likes nothing less than, you know, getting into trouble or having like people bother him with anything. So we say that Dettlaff will kind of like lead to example the two saw people kind of like doubling down on the vampire hunts. Then it could mean that that's like bothersome to the elder vampire. So I think I'm gonna go for the third option here. Innocents are dying, he doesn't care about that, I'm quite sure.
Sooner or later, Dettlaff will bring trouble. Serious trouble.
How?
As Kagmar brought trouble before. Folk will take him down, eventually. Might need a year, or two, or a decade, but they'll find a way. And then they'll go after other vampires. And eventually, they'll find you.
And I should fear
Death? No. But that'll be the end of your peace, your quiet. Knights errant, mages, they'll come here day in, day out. One already managed to teleport here. Others will follow, you can be sure. He'll kill them, of course, so they'll flood these caves, or bring in sappers from Mahakam and collapse them.
No. This place must be secure. The gate. What is your plan?
The plan is that Dettlaff has to die. I think he can resonate with that too. Again, I don't think he cares about sparing the city. He just cares about his own kind of like quiet and peace. And for peace to truly be, you know, Dettlaff has to die.
Dettlaff must die.
I will not kill one of my own.
We ask only that you summon him. We shall see to the rest.
If you drink from him,
I will be anathema, this I know. And still, I ask you to summon Dettlaff.
where?
TESHAM, MUTNA.
Go. Once I sense you there, I will summon Deathlaff.
I thank you.
Leave me.
Sounds a bit like Lefo's voice actor. That is one scary individual. And quite powerful. Perhaps one of the most powerful beings we ever encountered in this game.
That went better than I expected it would.
Think that went better than... You kidding? I'd have been dead on the spot if not for my slowed metabolism.
And yet you survived. Though you are risking your life. The question is, why? This contract, it goes well beyond what witches customarily handle. I cannot abandon the matter, for Dettlaff and I are bound by blood, but you could simply walk away. So why, my friend? Why stay and risk your hide?
Well, for the reward, clearly. I guess usually I would go for you know, because we kind of like do this also for Regis maybe, to a degree. But yeah, for us it's really just about the money.
Same reason as ever. For the reward.
You believe it will be worth all this?
Better be.
Right.
All your unseen that... welcoming.
No, They vary. Some are conceited, others imperious, but most can be reasoned with. But him, it was clear each word was a great effort. Interacting with others, it seems, it causes him physical pain.
Never entered my mind that the conjunction of the spheres was also a cataclysm for you, for...
Monsters? No euphemism required, you needn't seek one. I dare say it was worse for us. You arrived by the thousands, we were but a handful. Not much choice, assimilate with you, or shut ourselves off from the world, like him.
Cave I was tossed into. That where the gate between worlds is?
In a sense, yes. Just slammed shut, sealed tight.
Think it'll ever open again? Think you'll be able to go home?
I sincerely doubt it. And I think, in truth, the Elder knows that as well.
So why would he stay down there? What's the real reason?
To stay with the gate analogy, no door is ever completely impermeable. Smells come through, for instance. And when the wind rises, some dust might be blown through the cracks. A palpable trace of things on the other side. It's not much, but it is something.
And you? How do you feel now, where you are?
Geralt, imagine the least comfortable situation you could ever find yourself in. What would it be? I don't mean a moment of pain with death knocking at your door. Just a circumstance of great unease.
All right. In that case, a court banquet. Gotta show up in hose and a tight doublet. Gotta smile at everyone and engage in vacuous conversation, while Dandelion sings a ballad about me and Yennefer for all to hear.
Very well. Now imagine you're stuck there. Not for an hour, not for an evening, but for all time. And should you fall out of character for but a moment, should you so much as scratch yourself where the stitching chafes, all around you will scream, "Monster, monster!" and they'll turn on you and tear you to shreds.
Sounds tiring. Damn tiring.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
I don't blame Garrett for feeling that way about Dandelion's ballads about him. It's kind of funny hearing him say that without even making the choice to do it, you know? It's just generally how Garrett feels is like the worst place ever. But to be fair, we never see him smile on anyone on a festivity like that. But I guess he thinks he might be smiling. He's still trying to. But it might just come out like a small smirk or something.
Time to summon Dettlaff.
Yes, high time. Do you wish to go to TESHAM, MUTNA, right away?
Let's go. Want to get this over with. Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of Duntine.
Shame the reason why we came here.
Yes, quite the shame.
I don't really care about Regis's feelings here, so I'm gonna skip that optional choice.
Regis, let the Unseen Elder know we've arrived. Have him summon Dettlaff.
Hinthial Jesu Themias.
Didn't manage to find me, so you forced a meeting. Why?
You know why.
I've tired of guessing your human thoughts. So articulate them or leave me be.
Well, the attacks have kind of been stopped now because the vampires have been summoned away. So I'm just here to kill you, dude. The thing is, I didn't actually meditate before doing this, so I probably have to use white honey to reset my toxicity. As you can see, it's definitely showing on Garrett's face.
Came here to kill you.
Brief and to the point. How refreshing.
Well then, try, Witcher.
Okay, now it has been refilled, I guess, but we should still have the Knife decoction active. Let me check quick. It's still active. I don't really need it right now though, so I'm actually gonna still use white honey. Which does cancel it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna use black blood because I really don't wanna be hit by him, you know, because getting hit on nightmare difficulty means that you can potentially die. I have to make use of Quen as much as possible. And I want to go for like a defensive kind of like decoction. If I have one. Like the Griffin decoction might be good actually. Or the Wraith decoction actually. I think Wraith decoction might be good because he's definitely dealing more than 1/3 of damage. Wasn't fair. Exactly, B1. Lock and load.
You shall not block our Witcher! I am disappointed!
You murdered innocents. Don't owe you a damn thing.
If you acknowledge any gods, start praying now.
Oh fuck, no, that ability. Now that fucking ability with the bats can essentially one-shot you. And it even lands damage through Quen. I remember how much frustration it gave me on my last playthrough on DEATHMARCH. That was with the HUD. Okay, I have to drink a white honey here. This is... Look at that. It dealt 11,000 damage. Bollocks. Dude, how do I even dodge this? Ridiculous.
Come on.
I'm dead. Yeah, that's tricky. So hey there, Goody. Welcome in. How's it going? You have to run away as far as possible when the bats are gathering, then dodge. I have to try that for sure. Because yeah, that ability is definitely a killer. Definitely a killer. That definitely was a rough one. I remember this fight gave me quite some trouble on my last playthrough on Deathmatch difficulty. And I even had the HUD enabled when I did that one. playing Stellar Blade. Want to come and see what I was up to? Very nice, Goody. How's Stellar Blade going? How far into the game are you at this point? And yeah, it's going pretty good. We are quite close, I would say, to finishing the expansion, Blood and Wine. I went for a different story outcome this time, which was quite interesting. Never seen this particular outcome before. That's been nice to see something new.
You shall have brought our butcher! I am disappointed!
You murdered innocents. Don't do a damn thing.
First phase is pretty easy to get past.
If you acknowledge any gods, start praying now.
Oh yeah, that works. Yeah, the music is so good. Especially also in this DLC, like all the new music they've been adding.
Die, Witcher!
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
And there we go. We defeated Deathlove. I didn't actually think I would make it on my second try, to be honest, because I died a lot more on my latest DEATHMARCH playthrough. But it was very close for, like, I've died so many times, almost. So going to check with the White Rufford's decoction definitely saved us more than a few times. But yeah, also definitely the keeping your distance for the Ravens has made quite a difference, for sure. But yeah, Deathlove is no more. Yeah, Bioshock, it's like, you get a room, you two. I can definitely see how it tears Regis apart to do it to one of his kind. What happened to the two princesses in this storyline? Well, so far the Duchess is fine, and her sister Sienna is currently in captivity still at the secret hideout. I didn't decide, of course, to free Sienna, so I didn't have a whole fairy tale questline. Nor did I go to get her out of the room. So they should still be where they have been at the start of the night, essentially. But I guess we're gonna find out now what happens at the end of this questline. Because we didn't really try to get understanding for Sienna either. But yeah, they're both still alive. But not sure if they're gonna be until the end of the questline here.
Usually wear something different, better suited to my trade. Got nothing against this particular outfit, though. Just don't exactly feel comfortable in it. And I despise formal occasions.
Nothing one can't get accustomed to. Now, be so kind as to stand still. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else, which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Sound wistful. Pensive, Regis. That because they refuse to buy you a new outfit?
Hardly. It's the tone I ever adopt when I find myself pondering, which, believe it or not, happens quite a lot. Besides, I've no need for a new outfit, as I shall not be attending the ceremony.
Why not?
Because, unlike you, I don't have to. I shall begin to pack my belongings instead. I trust you'll join me later, once you're richer by a medal and a fascinating new experience?
Count on it.
Yeah, Reg is quite cynical here, but you can't blame him after everything that's happened. You know, because ultimately it was a human that made Deathlove do the things he did, you know. It doesn't, of course, justify what Deathlove has done, but at the same time, Regis feels quite conflicted, I guess, about the whole ordeal, and you can't really blame him. Essentially, he chose us over Deathlove, one of his own kind.
Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Siana planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a fifth victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Siana's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I conducted a little investigation of my own. You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash for our enterprising young friend. I'd observed that among street folk, amidst their society as a whole, reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
The letters. What's the connection?
When the bootblack arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he knew more. Simply put, we'd failed to ask the proper questions when we chatted earlier. It took a bit more tongue-loosening, but ultimately he spoke.
He admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters. He knew this information was valuable to me. In providing it, he was simply repaying me.
Oh yeah, for sure, B1. It's one of the things I like about this game is kind of like how you have to prepare for every enemy in like different ways. And playing of the harder difficulties definitely also forces you to optimize those strategies further. Also with like what bombs might be effective, what signs might be ineffective. It's definitely a nice learning curve, especially early on. When you also like read up about Bashari entries and then, you know, learn more about the monster's background and the weaknesses and strengths. Yeah, I think that whole part about like preparing for enemies is really satisfying, especially if it works out in the end. So the bootblack quest is like more something working with the fairytale questline, because in that one you try to understand where Siana's coming from and why she's been doing the stuff that she's been doing. However, in this situation we haven't been going for that. We just wanted to kill the Beast of Toussaint, which is what we've done, and we kind of like fulfilled our contract. So I think Mike Garrett isn't really interested in like investigating further if the issue has been done in terms of like what the Duchess asked for. According to the key entry, there's also no, like even if you investigate now, there wouldn't be any chance to change the outcome. So no matter what I choose here, it won't change anything. It would just give us a bit more clues and XP, essentially. So I'm gonna go for no point investigating any further, because it both fits with the Garrett I'm playing, and also with what we kind of like came here to do. And with a choice I've made previously by going to the Unseen Elder. And yeah, just makes more sense here.
Wine vapors in the air must have gone to your head, Regis. It's over. Dettlaff's dead. Won't be any more murders.
You're entitled to your opinion. I, however, will check this. Should you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Ah, welcome back to our northern dandy.
Would be fun if I could actually choose something different to wear now.
Thanks. Think that's all I need for now.
Ever your servant, sir.
Just completely disregard the etiquette here.
Not even a draft horse will talk without some
Take good care of yourself.
Okay, so we gotta go talk to Damien. I assume. Yeah, they're over here on this side. In the palace gardens.
Did vampires attack the town, or was that but a dream?
What is they call you? Gervant.
Gavin.
I've always dreamt of traveling to the north.
A nap. Now that sounds lovely.
I just need to find Damien in this huge garden.
One more, and another two.
Oh, take it all.
They say start.
Sure way to banish the beast. Send north for a witcher.
Sir de Perac Peren writes no more.
Okay, should be up here somewhere. Hey Valio, welcome in, dude. We did do the Unseen Elder bit. Was a really cool quest, actually. I really liked it. It's kind of crazy to me how much effort I put into both that quest and the Fairy Tale one. And made either of them optional, you know. But yeah, was really cool. And I've actually done it first try, believe it or not. I actually managed not to get torn into pieces by the Elder. I mean, I got attacked the first time, but it seems no matter which choice you make, you're still gonna be attacked, I guess, and barely survive. So that kinda is scripted, but yeah, the second time I succeeded. Kind of found a note, I guess, saying what I had to do. And also warning us not to waste his time too much. So yeah, getting straight to business, also choosing to appeal to his I don't want to be bothered, it has to be quiet attitude. Really, yeah, worked out quite well. Kind of thought the whole like appealing to not killing innocents won't really matter to him, you know. And I feel like the whole like that life is trouble for you definitely made lots of sense. So yeah, worked out quite well. Also defeated Detlef. Definitely a tough boss fight, but I made it second try, fortunately. So overall, it went really well, I would say. Ah, yeah, there he is. He just replied verbally, like, I can hit me in Discord.
Oh, the Witcher.
Yeah, no worries, dude. I know how that's like sometimes. When you still haven't fully waken up. Yeah, it is. It was a really cool scene, I think. Cool sequence. And definitely quite a scary individual. Probably one of the most powerful individuals we've encountered yet in this game.
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Damn, look at his scar.
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Truly honored, can't wait. I'm gonna go with a can't wait option because like less formal and less what they kind of like want me to hear probably. Regis deserves one too. Yeah, a couple of barrels full of sangreal blood maybe. I think I should be happy with that.
Yes, very. Heard a lot of good things about that appellation. Thanks again.
Cheers. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds as head of state, I must judge her fairly. But she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
Maybe not the blood, I think give a medal. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I think Regis mentioned that he doesn't really care about the medals and thinks it's pathetic or something. But sure, we can get him one as well. Are you sociopath or people just in general incapable of judging family members' actions objectively? Yeah, I guess it's difficult to judge something objectively that had a huge part in your socialization, I guess. You know. In a way, families are kind of like what are shaping you as a person on some level. So I guess it's quite difficult to stay objective, truly. Not for this guy, but apparently that's weird. I mean, it depends, I guess. I mean, not every family member is as close to a person as, you know, some of them. So I guess it depends. But yeah, if I was like in the role of Anna Henrietta and this was like my brother or something, I guess I would also have a hard time staying objective. I definitely couldn't, I don't think. But yeah, I guess being a leader and stuff, you know, it's kind of like different as well. Because of course she has to kind of like make a decision. It isn't her as a sister, but her as a ruler.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
He would have had Sienna in a courtroom at best, and at worst would have tied her up, shoved an apple in her mouth, and handed her to Dettlaff on a silver platter. Yeah, I mean, I think delivering her to Dettlaff, so supposedly she can explain herself, would probably be not necessarily a bad choice. Because would still stop, you know, the attack on Beauclair potentially. But the thing is, Dettlaff never lets her explain, right? I think he just tries to kill her outright. I don't think there's an outcome where you can deliver Sienna and then have Sienna not be attacked by Dettlaff. But I could be wrong. But yeah, totally fair to feel that way about Sienna. Like, surely something horrible has been done to Sienna, and that's why she became the way that she is later. But similar to Dettlaff, you know, the kind of like lives they were ruined and taken isn't really justification. It's not really standing in any kind of like proportion. But yeah, I think Sienna should be punished like any criminal. which means in this case would be death, I guess. I don't see how sparing Sienna might be good for the duchy. I'm gonna go for first option here. I don't really have any empathy.
No matter the mitigating circumstances, whatever they may be, Sienna is a criminal and should be tried as such. And punished as such. Her guilt is clear.
Your words sadden me greatly, Witcher. But I cannot deny their logic. Sienna, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
Why are you still going for the hack, dude? Fucking stupid.
I shall never forgive you.
I like how my game just minimized in that moment. But it gives us a bit of time here to talk about it. So yeah, both sisters are dead. You can't really prevent this if you've chosen what I have done previously, you know. But yeah, I feel like this is, in this case, like with what I've chosen dialogue-wise and what happens before, I feel like this is a bit enforced in a way, or it feels enforced. Because in that moment, you know, I don't think it really makes sense for her to go for a hug, you know, especially since everyone is like, yeah, danger, you know, everyone is like expecting it pretty much. And I don't think makes much sense there that given what she said, she would like lean in for a hug to trust her, especially since she just basically said, you know, I'm not here to fix our mistakes, I'm not here to give you a second chance, will you like give me a hug, you know, that would make more sense. But it's like, well, yeah, you shall receive fair judgment, basically you're gonna be punished for death, but I still love you, so let's hug, you know. So I think in that sense, this feels a bit more enforced than otherwise. But it still, you know, makes sense, of course, on some level, and you can still make a case for it. But yeah, I feel like it makes more sense for the might want to like try to spare you type of deal. I didn't bet Sienna then, the other quest. Yeah, I didn't go for the fairy tale one. I like the idea of getting, of Detlef getting revenge, then having to spend a lot of time serving the duchy killing monsters. The beast of Beauclair becomes guardian. It would have been fair and Regis wouldn't have to kill his friend. Fair, yeah. I think I want to go for that outcome eventually, of like sparing Detlef. Because I've never actually done that before. I like always did fight him. And this shit is why retribution ought not to be pushed aside in lieu of mercy. Yeah. It's pretty easy to get this outcome, I guess, if you're not going out of your way to find all the clues right and really understand Sienna. Can you think it depends on how the conversation goes when you go talk to her before you attend the ceremony, but it's very vague how you make her inclined to forgive Anna. Yeah, so I don't even have had a chance to talk to her before the ceremony. I think you only get the chance if you go for the fairy tale option. If you don't, then you only have a chance to investigate further with the bootblack kid. But even investigating the bootblack kid will only give you a bit more info and experience. But it won't actually change the outcome. So once you go for the see the unseen elder ending, this is bound to happen. There's like no way to change it. It's like definitely leading to the death of both of them, I guess. Unless there's one choice I could have done differently at the end here. In the conversation we just had. But I don't think so. It's a bit of a silly ending. Yeah, I feel like it kinda is alright. But at the same time, it seems like the Duchess is being like a bit out of character there for a few seconds. I do get it, you know, it's her sister and everything, but yeah, leaning in to a hug after you basically prosecute her to death, you know. What are you expecting really? That she's gonna be like, yeah, sure, let's hug it out. So I feel like, yeah, it would have been more fitting in another circumstance. More of a story, never wear a weapon in your hair. Yeah. Probably wasn't the best choice there. Feel out in light of her parents are dead and family-wise she's been completely alone for years. Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense for why Sienna is the way she is, you know. Like being basically told that she's cursed, you know, as a child. And being treated differently and like a freak, I guess, on some level. And then also being like driven away. And how that kind of like impacts Anna as well, you know. Because Anna is also without her family for a long time. And Sienna, of course, also still important to her. Yeah, fair enough, B1. I don't blame you for feeling that way. You mean in regards to Anna? I gotcha, Leo. Yeah. In a way, it affected both of them, I guess, you know, in terms of like having not real family around, I guess. After a certain point and being definitely by themselves.
Need some flowers. A wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral. Folk took it all. Men, women, children. All wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know. Her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
Exactly, B1. Just make it happen out of wax. And then it's gonna be fine. Cannot foresee this. It kind of fits the character, exactly. But yeah, you're not wrong there, Leo. I think it's definitely valid, for sure. But yeah, it does feel a bit rushed, I guess. You know, like one scene is missing or something. But obviously, given how many different outcomes there are sometimes, you know, it would be difficult to make every outcome, every cut fit 100%. Because you can see how, like, moments before it does kind of like cut, I guess. But yeah, she was too trusting.
Anna Henrietta wanted to believe there was still hope for Sienna, that she'd show remorse. She reached a hand out to her. Too soon. Too trusting.
Oh, I know you. You're that witcher from the north. The one that saved us from the beast.
Mm-hmm. Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair.
Eat, drink, and loosen your belt.
Snow
We are
White,
in
you
control.
with the exquisite hair.
Okay, so we have to find her grave here. Ah yeah, it's over here. On this side. Okay.
Phew, stinky.
It's kind of interesting how they made Beauclair and Tessor look a lot darker and more grim.
Why so pale?
With, you know, the death of Anna Henrietta.
The pitter-patter of little feet.
Definitely like when you have those kind of effects that represent what narratively is happening.
To bury the murderous lass in one crypt with the
Now I
Duchess.
shall sink you a
It's
song.
not decent.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. I hate to do this, but that is my Garrett.
Not the time to give in to weakness. You're the commander of her guard. Ought to set an example for others. Be dignified, standing guard over her grave. It's what Anna Henrietta would have wanted.
You are right, Geralt. There will be a time to grieve later. My duty to the ducal seat, that comes first now.
Oh, he's fine with it.
Respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside, then. She lies in the ducal crypt. In one room with her murderer. Despite my protests.
What? Who decided that?
the Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Siana's veins, and she was never legally disinherited. So they ruled she should lie alongside Anarietta.
Only gonna place on Anna Henrietta's grave. Usually I would place them on both, I guess. If I was feeling any kind of like empathy for Siana. But the only empathy Garrett has here is for the money giver, and that was Anna Henrietta.
I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined. I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Anna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
People who use weapons to murder deserve a special place in hell. Yeah, especially if you murder your sister with it. I don't dislike Siana weirdly. She had valid motivation for why she took out the knights. She just wasn't capable of acting out of retribution, and instead acted out of wounded ego. Instead of being justified, she was petty and narcissistic. It's a little different, but you think the motivation matters? It 100% does. And it's another great example of like CDPR really working on creating characters with lots of different layers. And also making those with villainous motives kind of like have a motivation beyond that, you know, and give them kind of like something to explain why they are behaving in a way that they do. There's just so many, yeah, grey layers, I guess, to all characters I feel in these games. And I think it's one of the reasons why these games have such great choices, because instead of going for kind of like a duality of choices, you know, where it's like, okay, this is a good outcome, this is a bad outcome. With almost every outcome, you can kind of like argue, okay, what is really better about this and what is worse, you know, because often they come with different kind of like outcomes that affect people in different kind of ways, you know. What might be a positive outcome to one might be a negative to another. yeah, it's one of the reasons why I love this game especially so much. Because I think they really applied that very well also to the side quests, not just the main story. But murdering your sister's fine, but to use a hairpin, that's depravity. That's right. That's a real crime, really. There's nothing sacred anymore. Nothing. Even using hairpins to murder now. What has this world come to? I mean, murdering his sister, you know, I can get behind that, of course, but there's limits, you know?
Whatever you say about Siona, you gotta admit, she was unbending.
That she was. I do admit it. Though, in her case, it would have been better if she had been a tad more, philosophical, pausing from time to time to reflect on the propriety of her actions.
True.
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt. Even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I'm a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
I don't know about that, Regis. I'm wearing sunglasses. I think that would make it more difficult to see in the dark. And I have no intention of not using the glasses. But sure, let's go. I have a cat potion, that should work.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes me, oh, so dreamy.
Penny for you.
Alright. Well, let's go ahead and apply the items here. There we go. And there was also the mask. Werewolf? Ah, there it is.
Thoughts? Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you, have you? And if I were to add Jimson weed in the last phase, could be an intriguing blend, that.
It's funny how he all of a sudden sounds like so much more drunk. Okay, that's one. to.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He is a vampire after all. Damn it, where'd you go?
Regis!
Damn it, where'd you go?
You raise your hand against the vampire! You shall die for that!
Oh shit.
I did what I had to do!
That escalated quickly.
That! Renegade!
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or
Won't let it go, will they?
they will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Nah, we still need more money. We still need to kill more monsters. More contracts. That's the type of life that Garrett is gonna keep on living. No retirement yet. There's money to be made.
No, just not the life for me. Sure, might stop by there occasionally, stay the winter, fill up on wine. But I'd rather keep moving. It's not a choice being a witcher. And once you are one, you're one for life. You can't just step off the path. Besides, plenty of work left for me in the world. Ghouls aren't gonna kill themselves.
Rather droll, isn't it, that each time we meet, something harrowing must happen? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view.
I like that idea. He's gonna do a bit of social stuff.
I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Man, I'm just getting chills. Just the anticipation of like Garrett looking at us directly, you know. And this kind of like fourth wall break at the end. What a way to send off Garrett, I think, and his story. Definitely deserving of a bit of rest. Garrett sure is. I do also like how it was like having the face of like full toxicity. Which does make him look a bit evil of sorts, so I'm kind of happy with that last shot of his face. To send off evil 3D Garrett. You got burned at the Power of Ash. Or did that happen to Regis? I've never actually read the books. But they do of course make mention of like him being like reformed out of like mud or something. Kinda like having survived a great ordeal. Nice smoke there. It makes you feel sad just watching the ending again. It definitely does, you know. It's like, don't want to spend a bit more time with him? You've read the books? Or have you? Nice. It would be cool to like get all that backstory on like characters like Regis, Garrett, Zoltan, Dandelion, Ciri, Yennefer, Triss. I have to think about maybe listening to the audiobooks at some point. Leo, it's a rare example of giving a character such a good ending. No one wanted a sequel to this because it couldn't be any better. That's a good way to put it, you know, like when I finished this for the first time I felt like, yeah, you know, like it's a good point to stop, and I feel like everything we've now have seen with Garrett, you know, definitely came to a kind of conclusion. Even if you say that, yes, you kind of like gonna continue to be a witcher and you're gonna continue to hunt monsters. I feel like his story definitely has a good concluding point here. You don't know how he came back. If I did mention in this expansion that Dettlaff apparently formed him out of like mud or something, back together. But I don't know about the details. Books are really good. Start with Blood of Elves. All game characters appear in the first 50 pages. Ooh, damn. That's definitely a short amount of pages for so many characters to appear together. Are they like all in Kaer Morhen or something? This is referencing him getting stabbed in Rivia. You think the game Garrett says Ciri came, grabbed Yen and Garrett and took them to the Hour of Avalon? The White Hunt found them in Witcher 1 happens. I think so, yeah. That's why he also loses his memory, right? He's essentially being like reborn in a way. Because Ciri came to save him. But in the books, Garrett and Yennefer die, right, at the end? Or like an angry mob or something. I think Garrett gets like spiked up on a pitchfork. And then I guess afterwards, in between the books and the game, Ciri comes to save him from like certain death or something. I've been thinking about doing it for a while, B1 for sure. I haven't really read many books in the past couple of years, I have to admit. So I think I might be more inclined of learning of a story by maybe listening to the audiobook or something. But it would come down to the similar, I guess, like additional voices. Gronk? I had no idea that Gronk actually voiced characters in this game. He's like a really famous German YouTuber, like one of the most famous gaming YouTubers in Germany. He's quite the icon. So that's kind of cool. They actually got him to voice in this game, apparently. Regis, you think Detlef had to spill his blood onto Regis' remains, microscopic as they were, and grow him like a plant? You're not sure on the exact details, but that's what Regis says, and why he's so patient with Detlef. Yeah, it does make sense, you know, because without Detlef, he, I guess, wouldn't be alive anymore, maybe? Definitely has to thank Detlef for, you know, being able to live like this. Better than the fact that they both have vampires, and the repercussions, of course, of what that means, you know, because he also loses his home here in Toussaint, now being hunted by other vampires. And he all did that just to defend Garrett as well, right? So Regis is definitely a true bro. They die but they don't. Audiobook is fine, but you try to read the recommended book order with first two books being shorter stories. But you couldn't finish those. It was only when you read the third book, Blood of Elves, which is the start of the main trilogy, that you read the rest, because the trilogy is a page turner. I see. That is definitely fair. So Blood of Elves first then. So I'm gonna skip the credits here.
I'd love to go home.
And we have one more quest actually. And that is back in Corvo Bianco. Let's have a look if there's a boat here, because we can... Yeah, there's one. I'm gonna take it here to get past Beauclair.
You go your way, I'll go mine.
No worries, Leo. Enjoy the food, dude. And yeah, catch you later. I'm gonna end the stream here after we finish the last quest here. But I'm gonna come back later with some Doom Eternal. But I'm gonna take a bit of a break in between. And then I'll be back in a short while after the stream. Thank you for the follow, B1. I appreciate it. And thanks again also for joining us today here. Okay, so this is the orphanage. Corvo Bianco should be somewhere on this side here, I think. It's quite close to the orphanage, actually. There it is. Corvo Bianco estate.
Women and chops.
A witcher.
More you
We
beat
could
them,
use one
the
around
better
here,
they are.
full time. I've a daughter, you know. She's fit to wed.
Duchess
Oh,
Anna
so
Henrietta's soul find rest.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Geralt, here at last.
Dandelion? What the hell are you doing here?
I'm not here. I'm a figment of your imagination, because you really want me to be here. Brought you a housewarming gift. It's also an illusion. How do you like it?
It's kind of funny that we have a cloak bug happening in this particular scene here. Just like flipped to the chest of Garrett. Perfect. Not at all, Casper. Yeah, gotta be honest here. And Evo. But yeah, so given that we haven't succeeded in romancing... Well, we did succeed in romancing Yennefer and Triss, but because we romanced both of them, we lost both of them. Which was my intention, you know. I went for romance options, but never really went with deciding to stay with one person. So that's why Dandelion appears, because I haven't really went through the whole way with one of the romances. And of course Ciri is dead according to the main game ending, so she doesn't appear either. So I think you have to not successfully romance Triss and Yennefer, and you also have Ciri to die for Dandelion to appear. So I guess it's kinda rare, I guess, because most people would try very hard if I romance one of the two, and to also of course keep Ciri alive. He definitely does fit into Toussaint, doesn't he? With kind of like luscious hair and fancy clothes.
You shouldn't have. Really, not everyone likes seeing you first thing in the morning.
Come on, don't be dramatic. This is the guest room. If you ask me, it belongs here. Fits this space like a warm glove. Now for some serious business. If anyone asks, I'm not here. Last time I was in Beauclair, admittedly enjoying myself, Anna Rieta...
Dandelion.
That is, the Duchess.
Dandelion.
Got a bit carried away and banished me on pain of death. I wouldn't want...
Dandelion. Anna Henrietta. She's dead.
What? But... how?
Come on. Got a story to tell you for a change. Sadly, I couldn't stop Sienna. She killed her own sister. Just one small consolation. Sienna's dead too.
Is that so? Gods. What a terrible, terrible loss. She was the morning sun striking dew. Vibrant butterfly among dun moths. Should have ridden down here with you. Might have done something together to avert this. But I had my hands full back home.
Yeah, bad news for Dandelion. He tried to make things up with Anna and Henrietta, but too late.
How are you, old friend?
Not well, unfortunately. After you left Novigrad, this one day, Priscilla was attacked. In the street. She was wounded badly. Took a long time to recover. Luckily, she's better now.
What are you talking about? Who the hell attacked her?
Still looking for the bastard who hurt her. Once I find him, he'll regret what he did. Regret the day he was born.
Sorry, Dandelion. Sorry I wasn't around.
You've got your own problems, your own priorities. Can't expect you to be at my side whenever anything goes wrong. Besides, it's Priscilla, so I need to handle this.
It's really interesting because I think this is referring to a quest that I haven't done. Because it didn't actually end up helping Dandelion further at some point with the Rosemary and Thyme Inn that he inherited. Or bought, I guess. So that's interesting, you know, because most people would have probably also have done that quest, you know, and wouldn't have gotten this dialogue here. But given that I haven't done this out of the kindness of my heart, I've only done like things for money, essentially. Or for influence or rewards. And Dandelion was just asking me for the kindness out of my heart. I didn't help him. I didn't get to see that Priscilla was attacked. And I gotta say, like, there's so many details in the dialogue options in this game. It just... definitely something to admire, I think.
How's business? You and Zoltan still have your tavern? Or has he embarked on some new venture?
You know him. We'll share a jug of mead and he'll go on about some new plan he's got. Nothing ever comes of it. So, we're still there. Recently, we discovered Novigrad's largest wine importer was a lying cheat, watering down his wines, but so clever, you'd never taste the difference.
So how'd you figure out he was up to something?
This one day I was feeling down in the muck. Decided to lift my spirits by, well, getting a little drunk. Actually, replace a little with really. So I knocked back a bottle, nothing. Then another. Maybe a slight buzz.
Might not be a lightweight anymore. Could be those years of training have finally paid off.
Come on! It took me 5 bottles to start seeing double. I thought, might just be a weird day. So I tried the same thing the next morning. Exact same result. I told Zoltan. He tried it and confirmed my findings. So we decided to ask the importer some tough questions. The man cracked. I threatened to tell everyone about his trickery unless he gave me a discount.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next Witcher game. It's gonna be interesting if we have like a new environment, like area and protagonist and like a new scope potentially. Because I think we're really ready to venture into some new kind of like areas we haven't been to yet before.
Plan to kick around Beauclair long?
I rode here with the specific intention of staying a while. Priscilla voiced no objections. But since my Honorrietta, that is, the Duchess, is gone, there's no point. She meant too much to me. Can't possibly walk these streets now knowing I'll never see her again.
See you later, Dandelion.
See you, Witcher.
Listen to Dandelion's play here. Okay, that's all he wanted to play then.
Dandelion, got a minute?
For you, my friend, always.
Okay, just repeat the same dialogue choices.
See you later, Dandelion.
See you, Witcher.
And there we go. We have successfully finished all of the main stories in the game now, which also finishes the Blood and Wine expansion. And with that, we have now finally also finished our no heads-up display deathmatch difficulty challenge. And also, of course, role-playing Garrett as someone who's greedy and evil, which I've never done before. At least not to this extent. But I have to say, this was one of probably most fun playthroughs I've had so far, because the game really lends itself well to doing the no HUD, I think. You know, given how open it is in its quest structure, and where you have to go, and how it kind of like adapts the level requirements and stuff. It never really feels like the game is actively locking you out of doing things the way you want to. So yeah, I think the no HUD has been great. The deathmatch, I have to say, I probably wouldn't do again on no HUD. I feel like normal difficulty would have been a better experience in terms of like, you know, having fun with the game. But the deathmatch was a good challenge, you know, for sure. Like, it really keeps you on your toes and you really have to make sure not to take any damage. But in some circumstances it led to just being one-shotted, you know, and that of course doesn't always seem very fair. Especially with a no HUD, it means I couldn't explore quite as much, couldn't finish quite as many missions. So I was also definitely weaker than I was on my last deathmatch run. Which is ironic because I ended up dying so much more overall, I think. But yeah, really enjoyed this one for sure. Also getting to play both expansions again. Casper finally beat the final mandatory boss in Elden Ring for the 4th time. The build wasn't very good. That's excellent though that you managed to beat the final one. Finally. Because I imagine it wouldn't be very easy. So are you now fully set up for the DLC? Or is there still some content you want to do before you jump into that one? Also, when is the DLC about to release? Like, has it already been released or is it upcoming? That is true, yeah, it would be cool to have kind of like more quests with maybe the person visiting you, or maybe them bringing some persons with them, like Priscilla in this case. What's the pros and cons of no HUDs? You don't see the reason for no HUD other than full screen. Well, it's definitely something I like to do for immersion, I guess, in a way, you know. So not seeing your health bar, you kind of like have to maybe pay more attention to, like, for example, the red outlining. Not seeing the minimap, it means you have to pay much more attention to your surroundings and where like landmarks are and stuff to navigate. It also means, of course, that you might be focused a bit more on the main story and you don't really follow things in a linear fashion, but you just kind of like come across things naturally. I also didn't fast travel for the most part, so that led to me just coming across lots of different quests naturally as well. But yeah, there's like lots of stuff that is disabled as part of a no HUD just to showcase. Oh yeah, HUD configuration. So we have no action log, no minimap, no Witcher sensor minimap, no, like everything in regards to the minimap of course isn't there. So I have to find everything manually. Yeah, the Witcher medallion and step bars are not unlocked. You also don't see enemy level and how much health they're having. So you don't see how much, you know, you might have to endure to end someone. You don't have any breath bars, that sort of things. I guess it just really makes it feel like a bit more natural, I guess, a bit more realistic in some ways. I wouldn't really say that it has a gameplay benefit of playing no HUD necessarily. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge that I can recommend if you like willing to run around a lot, I guess, and try to find stuff. But yeah, it's a good one. The DLC is getting released next week. You have 2 bosses left, which are optional, but the second is the hardest they have ever created. I see. Yeah, that's the thing sometimes. I think also in Bloodborne there were optional bosses that are much harder than the main bosses. Like the Orphan of Kos, I think, is considered to be one of the most difficult bosses ever. I didn't get to fight him because I don't actually have a DLC. But maybe at some point I'm gonna revisit Bloodborne and get the DLC too. Hey there Maxi, welcome in dude. How's it going? How is your day today? And yeah, it's going good. We just finished the Blood and Wine expansion. And with that also the playthrough of Witcher 3. With our no HUD deathmatch difficulty. So it's been good to get this to a close for sure. But yeah, I had a great time. I really enjoyed this playthrough as a whole. But yeah, it's been a challenge for sure. It's been by far the most difficult playthrough I've been doing of this game. You never play the game at anything but Deathmarch, though. That's definitely fair, if you want to have that extra challenge. I think when you can really optimize your build and you get to like make use of like all the advantages, then Deathmarch is definitely alright difficulty wise. Like early on definitely kicks your ass, but at some point you're definitely fine. But yeah, there's definitely some enemies that can kick your ass very quickly on that difficulty. Yeah, we'll be ending the stream here for now, but I'm gonna take a break and then come back with Doom Eternal afterwards. Probably in about an hour or so, I would imagine. Give or take. Today's going good. Been busy at work, but finally have some downtime and working from home today. That's great, Maxi. It sounded like you had some pretty busy days and weeks recently. So that's great to hear. I'm glad that you can, you know, have a bit of downtime and also work more comfortably from home. That would be nice, dude. I don't have a mod for the armor. It's the Viper armor, but I have changed the color to black. At least for the regular armor and the gloves, the gauntlets. I do, however, have a mod installed for hoods and capes. So the cape you can see Garrett wear here, that's kind of like modded into the game. Or perhaps Garrett will perform in a music concert. Yeah, he might, you never know. It definitely does feel like that, Maxi, because it's been definitely quite a while now since I started my playthrough of this. I of course had a break in between, like I did take breaks in between the main chapters of the main game and also in between the expansions. But it was good to do it that way, I think, because that way it always felt like a bit fresh and I didn't really feel like ever tired of Witcher. Because playing everything back to back, like main game and DLCs, would be, you know, a long kind of like, yeah, playthrough and streams over weeks. So it was good to have those breaks in between for sure. But yeah, it definitely feels good to get this playthrough done and dusted. Yeah, in the beginning, you definitely can die so quickly. I mean, even in the beginning, when you have to fight the goats, I think, with Vesemir, I died like immediately on Deathmarch. No HUD. Wasn't prepared for that. It's kind of funny because I think I died 7 times in the first chapter of Velen, and then I just didn't die until the end of the game anymore, of the main game. Or at least until the last chapter. So once you kind of like get some good armor and stuff, it definitely becomes much, much easier. But yeah, the Hearts of Stone and Blood of Wine has definitely kicked my ass a few times. We have amassed a few deaths towards the end of the playthrough. I think total across like the entire game. Oh, whoops. We died 39 times total. So quite a few. But yeah, with the no HUD, that really made a huge difference, like not seeing how much health I had left. I like the Griffin armor, but didn't like the look, but also couldn't find a nice Griffin armor mod. That's a shame. It would be cool if there was like a transmog kind of like mod that allows you to exchange the look of any gear piece, I guess, with something you already own. Because yeah, I like the Griffin armor too for the sign bonuses, but I'm not a huge fan of the look of it either. Looks a bit bulky, I guess. So I definitely prefer... I think my favorite armor look-wise for the Witcher gear are definitely the Wolf gear for one. But also the... I mean, Manticore is basically like the... Or the Viper gear is like more like the starter gear, so that one too. And the Manticore set was also really cool, I think, looking. On my first playthrough I went with the Bear gear, the Yusang gear. Because I just abused Quen to like no ends. I could just hold Quen and enemies are basically killing themselves. And I got health back for being attacked. So that was quite a busted build for sure. But most of the time I prefer to go for like an around type of build, so going with the woven set. Are you alright? It's fine. But yeah, let's go ahead and have a save here. And there we go. Finish the game with a total playtime of 102 hours and 50 minutes. But yeah, so this shall be. We're gonna go and exit the game. And also where I'm gonna end the stream for now. That being said, we're not yet done for today. I'm gonna come back in a bit with some Doom Eternal to continue our playthrough. But that's not gonna happen until like 45 minutes to an hour, probably. So gonna be a bit of a longer break for sure. I'm gonna go and raid out to Rod regardless, so you guys have something to watch in the meantime if you want to. He's playing a bit of AC Syndicate and he's currently working on the Jack the Ripper DLC. He's doing like 100% challenge with that game. Oh yeah, that would be a great way to make sure you survive B1. Getting that resurrection skill, like a second chance. Gary looks like Johnny Silverhand with those glasses. He's a true inspiration for Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk. Sounds good, B1. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks again for being here, and thanks also again for joining and following. No worries, Maxi. Thanks for posting those raid emotes in chat. So yeah, if you want to join us for the raid over to Rod, feel free to copy and paste those raider modes. And I'll be back later with a bit of Doom Eternal. So maybe see you then, if not sometime in the future. And until then, thanks again for being here. And yeah, see you over at Rods.